Good morning, everyone. My 41st birthday is tomorrow. 5 days after that, my 20-year wedding anniversary. And 2 days after that, Tense plays a show. It's a busy little stretch. I gave myself space this morning to spend some time. Well, really, I just wanted to go they have these lox bagels at the coffee shop. And if I've been a good boy and not eaten too much junk for a couple days, I'll treat myself to one for breakfast. Along the way, I was listening to this podcast. I don't know if you're a Nick Cave fan. I get this vivid sense as I read this book that Nick Cave, I don't know, he must be 50. He has a long, winding journey that's full of brutal sadness. His mom died during COVID. Around there, his son died of a drug overdose. And you can feel how he went from this young kind of punk, drug-abusing, worldly artist that had incredible acclaim. Nick Cave, for those of you who don't know, he's kind of both a global legend and a cult legend at the same time. He's not really mainstream, but he's highly regarded. And he has been for decades. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Beautiful music. But anyway, you can feel how his life and his artistry has been deconstructed and reconstructed for him. And how he looks back on his life and he has this feeling that so much of what he did and what motivated him as a young person was a little bit, fraudulent, I think. I think that's true for a lot of younger artists, that there's tons of really deep, real stuff in there. And also, for most of us, we're still kind of working our identities out. This is how life is, yeah? As humans, we get older, we get better at being ourselves. We find, hopefully, where the life is, and we lean into that life. And we learn to find the parts of us that are destructive, and we learn to quiet those parts of ourselves, hopefully. I wanted to be a school teacher. I'm deeply extroverted, and I do really believe in humans, when you put me in a room with humans, I just find joy in being around them. And that's part of what anchors my music. I really believe I have some deep sense of hope and joy in just what I feel like is a truly profound thing to live and exist. And I often think that my journey has been sort of squandered, spending all this time isolated making music. I could have, maybe I'm 40, I could have, maybe I should still go be a teacher or figure out how to get in rooms with people more and just be the extroverted bundle of joy that I can be to people. But Nick Cave, he reminds me of this ideal, I'm not as cool now. I was probably never cool, but I'm less cool probably now than I was 15 years ago when I was a mid-20s hustling young musician. And certainly I'll probably be even less cool as the years and decades pass. But what's also true is I find myself blossoming, the way you want to see a kid just sort of come into themselves. I feel myself coming into myself as a almost 41-year-old man. And I know that's going to keep happening. And I know the more I come into myself, the more use I will have for the world around me. The more use I have for my family. I feel something so good happening in me. And I know that as an artist, if I'm able to stay out of my own way and continue to just allow that goodness to exist in the songs that I make, that's good work, That's positive. My music career is not over, And I could go do something else, and I might someday, but some part of me feels this deep conviction, deep satisfaction that the fact that I never really made a splash in my early adult life, and I spent those years making music behind closed doors, that I wasn't ready to really, I don't know, encourage people or get out of my own way and stop trying to be cool or stop being cynical. I wasn't ready to really just, bless, bless people. And now I think I am. I think I'm ready to stop pretending to be someone I'm not. I'm ready to just be like a corny, positive dad, that wants to just lift people up. Maybe this relates to some of you out there, wherever you're at. I can't buy into this notion that my music and my career are to some kind of end that is like fame. And to that end, sometimes I question the hustle, But I do know that I would rather listen to this version of myself than the version from 15 years ago. The version from 15 years ago had a lot to say, but was unwilling, in many ways. And I'm willing now, and I think I'll be more willing as the years pass and as more bad stuff happens to me and more good stuff happens to me. My life will get deeper and wider, and that will make me hopefully of more use to people that consume my music. And that feels like a compelling reason to stay locked. Maybe that resonates for you in your life. I hope you all are well. This has been pretty weekly for a minute. I'm going to try to keep going. I was going to make a vlog about Hawaii for those of you who have been around every week, but I went to Hawaii and I had so many deep moments, and it was such a focused, wall-to-wall, morning to night, like intimate social thing. I just couldn't compromise that with the phone. But I will tell you, Hawaii has been a really deep and profound environment for me. Maybe I just try to make everything seem deep, but that place has brought me so much positivity all around this music festival that I go to there, that I'm sure I'll talk about someday, but I just need to find the right moment to film it. But I really want to make next week, no guarantees, who knows what's going to happen, but I really want to make a crazy vlog about my marriage, maybe a song about my marriage. 20 years. I mean, some of y'all probably lap me on that front, but it feels like crazy. There was a time where it was like, oh yeah, Amy and I have been married for a while, like a long time. And now it feels to me like I've lived 1,000 versions of myself in marriage, over half of my life, right? Wait, I got married at 21. So next year will be half of my life that I've been married. But it's hard to believe how many little nooks and crannies of life Amy and I have experienced together. And it's worth celebrating, I'm thankful for that. We'll talk to you guys soon. As they say in Hawaii, shoots.